What's up guys, Jimmy Miracle here. Gonna talk to you a little bit more about head construction, constructive drawing through the form, using primitive forms to locate core centers and surface centers. So this maquette that we did in the last video is fairly easy to sculpt, but to construct it on a 2D page, you do need to use principles of constructive drawing. George Bridgeman, Andrew Loomis, people like that. And I would just refer you to Bridgeman's Complete Guide to Drawing from Life. Page 84, construction of the head. And this is what we're talking about here, using principles of perspective and constructive drawing. Andrew Loomis, a student of George Bridgeman, great illustrator in the golden age of illustration. We're using a little bit of his ideas, simplifying the head construction into ball and facial mask plane dropped off of that sphere. Page 22. Drawing the head in hands. If you want something a little bit more accessible and simple, Fun with the Pencil, also by Andrew Loomis. Page, let's see here, page 12. Basically going over the construction of the sphere and then using it to build the human head. That's what we're studying here, and then very simplified in terms of a block. So this is how the old masters thought. Everybody in the Renaissance was thinking in terms of geometric constructs, drawing through the form. Let me show you a little bit demo of how we're gonna construct these 3D forms. First, you need to learn how to draw through the form. So we'll do it with a sphere here, and then just rip this page off. So let's draw through the form of the sphere. Basically, I'm going to use a pencil, and I'm going to turn it in such a direction where I'm going to draw it bigger than it actually is. Keep the lay-in lines light, and then wrapping ellipses around to the unseen planes, wrapping ellipses this way. I'll clean these lines up with the marker and restate them all in one go. So I'm drawing through the form. I'll show you with orange. So here's the outline. Outline's just a circle, and then these were the primary construction lines on the surface of the form, but we need to get more than that. This one's turning down, unseen, unseen, wrapping up on the other side of the sphere. Same thing here, turning, coming toward me, thinking in 3D space. Unseen, unseen, turning around. Wrapping around the ball, so I'm getting all 3 axes. This is going way back in space, basically imagining like I'm some kind of electron rotating around a nucleus and trying to find this nucleus of the sphere. You can do this. You can practice these concepts. You can also accent the axes. So this is coming out this way. This is coming out This is Constructive Drawing 101, and you need this in order to build a facial plane on top. So once you have something constructed in 3D space, a form, you're dropping a facial plane off of there and using proportional divisions. This can be the brow line, hairline, nose, stepping out from there. I mean, I'm gonna just draw it from here, and let's see, let's do a little one over here. So I'll put them in the same spot. All right, I'm gonna start with the sphere, and there's a center line that I'm gonna wrap through, and then the facial mask dropping off of that. Principles of perspective. So all of these lines this way are going to be converging to a vanishing point somewhere back in space. Brow line dropping through, nose, bottom of the chin. This line connecting through both sides. So this is giving me front and side plane division. From the corner of the temple, there's this transition plane on the edge of the jaw, and then this is following this. So we're using principles of perspective in order to construct a convincing 3D illusion. Space, let me reinforce it with a marker again. Let's use this pink one. All right, so this out of the way. We have an outside shape. I'm just going to keep referring to this little maquette. The outside shape is 2D, but it's giving us clues about 3D space and how this geometry can be represented on a 2D plane with surface center lines, with planes that describe side, front, and top plane, lines that wrap around the form. And in this one, I didn't draw all the way through, like, let me get this purple marker. But I'm still thinking that this line travels around and back in space. These are the perspective cues that will help me give the illusion of receding space to a vanishing point that way. There's also things like this where from the center line to the far edge of the temple will be less space, and this will be more space on the near facing plane because this is a curved plane. These will all be following principles of perspective. Same thing here. This space to this space. This will be a slight bit more, slight bit less on a curving plane. Front and side plane, take a ride down there to locate the corner of the chin. These are primary constructive lines, linear perspective lines that help me build a 3D form, find the corresponding border of the front plane on the edge of the drawing. All right, so basically that's kind of what you want to think about with using these, and then building more complex planar models on top of this with correct anatomy. This already has anatomy in it, It's just very simplified, and it's the key anatomical landmarks. So corner of the temples here, front of the facial plane, the zygomatic's completely omitted. There's a wide point here because the head is, or the cranium is more shaped like an egg, and it tapers from these wide points, top points. And so you can use this as a foundation. Significant angle breaks, side plane, transition plane, front plane. But when you're drawing complex viewpoints and perspectives, you need to break it down into something simpler. Sometimes even super simple, like one of these blocky models. So the round form can get a little bit confusing with the perspective, and then you go back to the blocky. That's what Bridgeman does a lot. But hope this video helps you. Have a great day.